what are you doing 10 years from now? What do you think your day looks like? The size of your fund looks like? Are you just doing the same stuff, just more of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm firmly in this space. I don't know that I could continue to work at the pace that I'm working at now without expiring. Uh, I mean, I'm doing 10 Zoom calls a day. I work out every day. Look, I just think that now we're early. It's time to focus on the investments that I want to have in my own portfolio, and I want to do it in a controlled way. I have no idea what this space is going to look like 5 years, 8 years from now. I mean, I have a sense, but things are changing so rapidly. Um, it's hard. I know I'm going to be in this space. I don't think there's anything else to do. There's certainly no alpha anywhere else. This is the birth of a whole new system. And it might be the birth of a new way for humans to interact with each other. Because as I call it, it really is a truth machine, and maybe, any place in the world where truth is needed, where people need to know for sure that something is true, will incorporate the blockchain economics, or some have some sort of derivative of the Bitcoin code or invention or blockchain, or however you want to describe it. I think, and when I start to think about that, there are unlimited number of applications, right? I mean, in theory, this could sort of eliminate, lying, or eliminate, so what does that even mean, right? Like, I don't forget about tokenization of all assets and art and everything. You've got that coming. What does it mean beyond that, even for the way humans interact with each other, right? Are we going to all just, live in the metaverse? Are we going to go to a bar in the metaverse to meet people, but in fact, those people are going to be in France and in China, not next door neighbors? And then, how is that all going to work? I'll tell you one last thing is that, look, I saw a statistic that people under the age of 25 spend 8 hours a day online. And so for us, that's crazy to think. But you know what? Doing all these Zoom calls, et cetera, looking down at my phone, maybe it's getting to that for us too. And so people will really live part of their lives in this new digital world, which they call, the metaverse. So that's maybe what's ahead.
Those are some great thoughts. When you and I were a kid, the biggest thing to get was a car. At least it was for me, because that meant I had independence. I could do what I want to do and go see my friends. My daughter, she's 17. I couldn't give her a car, honestly. Like,
Right.
she has it all via the internet, right? Via her various forms of metaverses. And
Right.
and so you're right. These people are now growing up where their digital identities are more important than their physical identities, unlike when we grew up. So it is a completely different shift. And, just to finish, I was getting ready for the Yachts interview a couple weeks ago, and I was talking to someone here, and I was like, the pay to play, and that someone's job is to play a video game in the Philippines. It just doesn't make any sense. And then Yacht's like, well, Brian, we're talking right now on a Zoom call. Most of us now work remotely. You interact with everybody through a screen. It's like, how's that very much different than this metaverse concept? And then, they get points. You get a paycheck every month. Like, you start to understand that it's not as far-fetched as it might seem. It's not a science fiction movie.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's kind of the reality we're living. You're on 10 Zoom calls a day. It's yeah.
I think it is. I think it is the future. The future is here, and it's just a matter of how fast we embrace it.
Yeah, and I had Jeff Booth on the show, who wrote that great book about deflation, and he said, Brian, Bitcoin could save humanity. And if you know Jeff, he's a very mild-mannered Canadian guy he's not prone to hyperbole. And I think his point is something that you just said, Dan, is that maybe it means in the future, all this transparency, this blockchain, maybe we actually become the best versions of ourselves every day, because maybe there's no line. Maybe we have to show up and do everything we say we're going to do and be the best version of ourselves every day, where sometimes it's easy to not do that every day.
Right.
And maybe this blockchain will bring this new vision of humanity, like you said, well, there's no line. What kind of world would that be? Like, yeah.
As I said, I think it's limitless, and I think it's coming. And the decentralized nature of it, there's never been anything that's ever existed that is so decentralized. So it's going to exist no matter what. Like if you try to shut it down in one area, it's not going to matter, because there are many, many people around the world who are getting tremendous benefits from being involved in this world. Not everyone has a stable currency. Not everyone has proper monetary and fiscal policy. Emerging market countries, for some of them, this is a godsend. So again, we need to have a little more, of a little less of a parochial perspective here, and really embrace the unknown.